In this lecture, we are going to design IIR filters from the analog filters. There are different methods we are using to design the digital filters, means IIR filters from the analog filters having infinite impulse response. Here different conversion techniques we are using to obtain the IIR filters from the analog filters. Here these conversion techniques is effective. Here it should follow the desirable properties. Here first property is the j omega axis in the S plane can be mapped it into the unit circle in the Z plane. Here this gives a direct relationship between frequency variables S and Z in two domains. It is two domains. Here second property is what? Here the second property is the left half of plane of the S plane should be map it into the inside of the unit circle in Z plane. Here means a stable analog filter will be converted to the stable digital filter. It is here the following are the methods used to design digital filters from the analog filters. They are approximation of derivatives. Second one is impulse invariant transformation. Third one is bilinear transformation. Fourth one is the matched Z transform technique. Here in this section we are discussing about design of IIR filters using impulse invariant technique. Here impulse invariant technique is used to design the IIR filters. Means we are designing it from the analog filter. Here analog filter transfer function. Here HA of S is the analog filter transfer function. Here transfer function in analog domain it is. HA of S is the transfer function in analog domain. Here now we are converting this analog transfer function into the digital filter transfer function. Here digital filter transfer function is denoted by what? H of Z it is. To obtain H of Z, here this analog filter transfer function from the analog filter transfer function. Here first step is we are applying inverse Laplace transform to the HA of S. Here inverse Laplace transform of HA of S is what? HA of T it is. Here this is the impulse response of analog filters. Here now we are converting it into the digital form it is. Here simply we are sampling the HA of T. Here sampling methods we are using to sample the analog impulse response HA of T it is. Here sampling at T is equal to NT it is. Here we are obtaining the discrete time signal it is H of NT it is. Here now we are applying Z transform to this impulse response. The Z transform of this impulse response is what? Transfer function of the system, IIR system in digital domain it is. In transfer function of digital IIR filter in digital domain it is. These are the steps to design the IIR filters from the impulse invariant technique. Here for this case we are considering first of all we are considering what? Analog filter transfer function. Okay, we are expressing this analog filter transfer function in terms of partial fraction. Here means it is the all pole filter. Simply it is the all pole filter. HA of S is the all pole filter. HA of S is equal to what? Summation k is equal to 1 to capital N ck by s minus pk. I am taking this is the equation 1. Okay, then what is the next step? This is the HA of s. In the next we are applying inverse Laplace transform to the equation 1. Here inverse Laplace on both sides of equation 1 it is. Inverse Laplace transform of HA of t is equal to inverse Laplace transform of summation k is equal to 1 to n ck by s minus pk. Here inverse Laplace transform of HA of t is HA of t. Here is equal to inverse Laplace transform of, we are expanding this term, it is here k equal to 1 to n c1 by, that is c1 by s minus p1 plus c2 by s minus p2 plus so on plus cn by s minus p capital N it is. Okay, we are separating the inverse Laplace transform. We are applying inverse Laplace transform each of the function inside the set it is. Here inverse Laplace transform of c1 by s minus p1 plus inverse Laplace transform of c2 by s minus p2 plus so on inverse Laplace transform of cn by s minus pn. Here what is the inverse Laplace transform of 1 by, here c1 by s minus p1. c1 is the constant. I am taking out inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s minus p1. Here e power p1 into t u of t it is. E power p1t u of t. Similarly inverse Laplace, here c2 is the constant. I am taking out inverse Laplace transform of 1 by n minus p2 is what? E power p2t u of t plus so on. Inverse Laplace transform of this one is what? Cn into e power p capital N t u of t. Here we are writing this this term in summation form it is. This in terms of summation. Here HA of t is equal to summation k is equal to 1 to n ck e power pkt u of t it is. I am taking this is the equation 2. Okay, here now sampling this equation 2 it is. Here means simply we are substituting t is equal to nt in equation 2 it is. Here that is h of n it is. H of n is equal to HA of nt, that is equal to summation k is equal to 1 to n ck e power pk t is equal to nt u of nt it is. Here this is the third step. Here this is the second step. This is the third step. Here fourth step. In the fourth step we are applying what? Z transform to equation 3 it is. Here means how to determine Z transform? H of z is equal to what? Z transform of h of n is what? H of z is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity h of n into z power minus n. Here h of n is equal to what? We are replacing h of n here. Here we are replacing. What is the h of n? Summation k is equal to 1 to capital N ck e power pk into nt u of nt it is into z power minus n here. Here from the definition of u of nt, what is the u of nt definition? Definition of u of nt is u of nt is 1 n greater than or nt greater than or equal to 0. Here remaining values it is 0 it is. Means the lower limit of this summation is replaced by 0 it is. Here summation n equal to 0 to infinity, summation k is equal to 1 to capital N ck e power pk into nt into z power minus n. We are interchanging the order of the summation it is. Okay, summation k is equal to 1 to capital N ck summation n equal to 0 to infinity e power pk into e power nt z power minus n. Here I am writing this one like this: e power pkt whole power n into z power minus n. Here how to write here? Let us, I am assuming this is the a power n b power n. How to write it one? ab whole power n form it is. Okay, here e power pkt into z power minus 1 whole power n. Here summation n equal to 0 to infinity. Here this is equal to summation k equal to 1 to n ck summation n equal to 0 to infinity e power pkt z power minus 1 whole power n. Observe this one. Summation n equal to 0 to infinity a power n form it is. Here summation n equal to 0 to infinity a power n is equal to what? 1 by 1 minus a. Okay. Here means the equation becomes what? Which is equal to what? Summation k is equal to 1 to capital N ck into 1 by 1 minus a value is what? E power pkt z power minus 1 it is. Here h of z is equal to what? Summation k is equal to 1 to capital N ck by h of z is equal to what? Summation k is equal to 1 to capital N ck by 1 minus e power pkt into z power minus 1. I am taking this is the equation 4. Here we recall the transfer function of analog filter. HA of S is equal to what? Summation k is equal to 1 to capital N ck by S minus pk. I am taking this is the equation 5. Here now we are observing the relation in mapping relation in terms of mapping poles from S plane to the Z plane it is. Here simply we are equating the denominator polynomial of equation 5 to 0. Here means S is equal to pk it is. Similarly we are equating the denominator polynomial of equation 4. Here from that we are observing Z is equal to e power pkt it is. Here from equation 6, here I am taking this is the equation 7. From equation 6, pk is equal to what? Yes it is. Here z is equal to e power st it is. Here this equation gives relation to map the poles from S plane to the Z plane it is. S plane to the Z plane. Here now we are observing criteria for mapping poles it is. From equation 8, here what is the equation 8? Z is equal to e power st. Here S is equal to what? S is equal to sigma plus j omega. Z we are expressing Z in terms of polar form. Z is equal to what? R into e power j omega it is. Here Z is equal to R into e power j omega. S is equal to sigma plus j omega. Here we are R into j omega is equal to what? Here from equation 8 we are substituting these above equation, these two in above equation. Here R into e power j omega is equal to what? E power sigma plus j omega of t. Yes, we are replacing. Okay. Here this can be written as what? R into e power j omega is equal to e power sigma t into e power j omega t. Here from this we are observing R is equal to what? E power sigma t. I am taking this is the equation 9. This R is equal to what? Comparing these two equations on both sides. R is equal to what? E power sigma t. Here omega is equal to what? Omega t it is. Analog frequency into t it is. Digital frequency it is omega. Okay. Here in this from equation 9, here the magnitude of e power sigma t is a real number, but phase angle is 0 it is. But phase angle is 0 and the phase angle is 0. Real part here the real part of equation 9 is what? E power sigma t it is. Okay. E power sigma t. What is the magnitude of e power sigma t? Is the real number. It is the real number. And phase angle of phase angle is what? Phase angle is 0 it is. Here similarly second term in equation 9 is what? Is the magnitude of e power j omega t. What is the magnitude of e power j omega t? 1 it is. Magnitude of e power j omega t is second term. From the second term, magnitude of e power j omega t is unity. What is the phase angle? Phase angle is omega t it is. Here the real part of analog pole. Here this is the real part of the analog pole it is. A real part of, this is the real part of the analog pole. This real part is what? Sigma it is. Okay, sigma is the real part. This sigma determines what? Determines the radius of Z-plane poles. Radius of Z-plane poles. What is the imaginary part? Imaginary part of analog pole. What is the imaginary part of analog pole? Omega t. Omega t. It determines what? It determines the angle of the digital pole it is. Okay, angle of the digital pole. Here now we are mapping the poles from S plane to the Z plane. Here we are observing the following cases to map the poles from Z plane to S plane to Z plane by using impulse invariant method it is. Here let us, I am considering sigma is equal to 0. Any poles on imaginary, this means sigma is equal to 0 means what? The poles are located on imaginary axis it is. If the sigma is equal to 0 means the poles are located on imaginary. Let us, I am considering the poles on imaginary axis. Let us, I am considering the poles on imaginary axis. So this means what? For these poles, real part is what? 0. Sigma is equal to 0. Here now we are determining R value. Radius of the pole it is. R indicates what? Radius of the pole in Z domain it is. Okay. Here sigma is equal to 0 we are substituting in equation 10. Here e power 0, its value is 1. Here means these poles on imaginary axis. Here map it into what? Map it into unit circle. Map it into unit circle. Poles on unit circle. Okay. Understand this one? Here if let us, I am considering poles on imaginary axis. Here poles on imaginary axis means the real part of these poles is what? 0 it is. Here means we are determining R value. Means this R indicates what? Radius of the pole in the Z domain it is. Radius of the pole in the Z domain. Here how to calculate? We are calculating it in terms of real part in the S plane. Here the poles are located on imaginary axis means real part is 0. Sigma is equal to 0. R value is 1 it is. Means the all poles on imaginary axis, map it into what? Poles on unit circle in Z plane it is. Okay, this is the case 1. Second case, sigma is less than 0. I am considering sigma is less than 0. Sigma is less than 0 means here e power sigma t value is less than 1 it is. Here means R is less than 1. Here means the, let us, I am considering sigma is less than 0 means the poles are located in the left half S plane it is. Here this is the right half S plane, this is the left half S plane, this is the j omega axis. Here sigma is less than 0. Less than 0 means negative real axis it is, on negative real axis. Here sigma is less than 0 means here the poles are located in the left half S plane. Let us, I am considering the two poles are located in the left half S plane. Here means sigma is less than 0 means R, we are calculating the R from equation 10. R is equal to what? E power sigma t. Here this e power sigma t value is less than 1 it is. We are calculating this value. This value is less than 1. Means R is less than 1 it is. Here means we are mapping the poles in the left half S plane. It into what? It into the poles which are lie inside the unit circle it is. Okay, in Z plane it is, in Z plane. Here this is the second case. Third case is poles on right half, means this indicates what? Stable poles in the left half S-plane. The stable poles. The poles in the left half S-plane indicates what? Stable poles. The stable poles in left half S-plane, map it into what? Inside the unit circle in the Z plane it is. Okay. Here the poles in right half S-plane means here unstable poles. These are the unstable poles it is. Here we are mapping this unstable poles. Here means sigma is greater than 0 it is. Sigma is greater than 0, not greater than 1. Sigma is greater than 0. We are considering sigma is greater than 0. Real part of sigma is greater than 0. Sigma greater than 0 means here positive right hand side of this S-plane it is. Here we are mapping, here from that we are calculating R value it is. R is equal to what? E power sigma t. Sigma is greater value means this value is greater than 1 it is. This value is greater than 1 means R is greater than 1. Means we are mapping this pole, the pole in the right half S-plane, map it into what? Outside the unit circle in Z plane it is, in the Z plane. Here, these are the unstable poles. We are mapping unstable poles, mapping it into outside the unit circle in Z plane it is. Okay, poles having same real part but differ by the imaginary part is differed by 2 pi by t it is. Here in the previous we are observing, we are mapping poles from S plane to the Z plane. Here that means we are transforming transforming poles from S plane to Z plane indicates what? 1-to-1 transformation. That transformation is simply called as 1-to-1 transformation. Here in this case we are observing many to 1 mapping it is. Here many poles are transformed it into single pole in the many poles, means a number of poles in the S plane having a same real part but it are differed by the phase difference, differed by imaginary part by 2 pi by t. Here we are mapping these poles, infinite number of poles, into single pole in the Z plane, many poles into single pole in the Z plane. Here due to these poles, these poles causes aliasing. This aliasing causes due to what? Here the imaginary part is due to imaginary part is greater than pi by t and less than pi or less than pi by t when sampling the impulse analog filters. When sampling the analog filters, the analog poles will not be aliased by impulse variant mapping if they are confined to the S plane. They are confined to the S plane primary strip. For example, I am considering the poles. S1 is the one pole. This is the S1. This pole is located located with identical. These two are poles. S1, S2 are poles which are identical to the imaginary real part, and these two poles are differ by phase angle 2 pi by t. Here means we are expressing S1. S1 is equal to what? real part plus j omega it is. S is equal to, S1 is equal to sigma plus j omega. Here S2 is equal to what? S2 is equal to sigma plus j omega plus j 2 pi by t it is. Simply it can be written as what? S2 is equal to what? Sigma plus j of omega plus 2 pi by t it is. Here now we are mapping these poles into the z plane. Here we are mapping infinite number of poles in infinite number of poles having same real part, but differ by the imaginary part by 2 pi by t. Here these poles are mapped into single pole in the z plane it is. Okay, here these are the two poles in the s plane, differ by phase imaginary part 2 pi by t. Here now from we are obtaining the relation. What is the relation between z and s plane? Here z domain and s plane here z is equal to what? E power st. Here now we are determining the z1. Z1 is equal to what? Z1 in terms of the pole S1. Here Z1 is equal to e power S1 t. Here we are obtaining this value is e power sigma t into e power j omega t. Here similarly Z2 we are obtaining. Z2 is equal to e power sigma t into e power j omega t it is. Here these two, observe these poles. Here Z1 is equal to, from this Z1 is equal to Z2 it is. Here means we are transforming these two poles it into z plane, into single pole in the z plane. Here means the poles having same real part but differ by 2 pi by t. Here due to this pole aliasing takes place when sampling analog signal. Here means this imaginary part is greater than the pole, S-plane poles having greater than pi by t or less than pi by t causes aliasing when sampling the analog signals it is. Here these analog poles will not be aliasing. Here the poles confined within the primary strip. Here primary strip. Here now we are here actually this aliasing is the main disadvantage of impulse invariant mapping. Here due to the presence of aliasing, impulse invariant method is approximate for design of low pass and band pass filter. Here this method is not successful for implementing digital filters such as high pass filters. This is about the impulse invariance technique to design IIR filters from analog filters. Thank you.